Welcome back, everybody. This is Brothermutant here. Today we're going to continue our journey to complete the Maimed Gods Saga. If you recall from our last episode, we were busy destroying a unholy artifact. This it's not here anymore, but it's a crystal, a blurry crystal that damaged us a little bit. As a matter of fact, why don't I just heal a little bit? You never know when some bad mojo's going your way, right? Close enough for me. All right. Now, we are okay.
I will lead now. Follow.
Finished here, I think. Let's see, journal. Yeah, I just completed the Tears of Vision. And at this point, I really don't have a whole lot more that I can think of doing. So, we're going to head. Let's check downstairs one more time because I did destroy something. It's entirely possible something's been released, but I'll prove it to myself that nothing is down here. Nothing. Okay. All right. Anyway, sounds like we want to head back to the mansion then. Now, have I anything to sell though?
Listening.
Oh, besides her ridiculous books, illusionist rose no one wants. Wooden planks. I should probably store some of these items in her bureau. Same with like our chrysanthemums and whatnot. I doubt we're using that in combat, so be a good way for me to lighten the load. So let's do that. We'll head back upstairs, do a little rest. Matter of fact, probably should have even healed since we can't rest and heal up that way. I bet you never know. I suppose I could get jumped as soon as I walk out of this cathedral. That would not be cool. Let's see. I have this list of spells still, so probably won't try to pray. I don't know that there's a limited number that you can use per act or anything like that. It's entirely possible they've done that. And I know that, and I say that because there's been plenty of times where I've gone back there to pray and it didn't give me anything back. And then I do a couple little minor things, then suddenly I'm allowed to pray again, even though I didn't, fix the cathedral. That seems odd to me. So it's possible that there's a restriction in there somewhere. But let's see what we can see. Alright, let's go rest. We should probably update her to let her know. Angelica. Oh, priest thug. Damn. Of all the times we interrupted, we should have locked the door. Nico, thank Tyr you've arrived. Don't worry, my lady. Our plans for you haven't changed. We're just a bit delayed while we deal with these two. Wait a minute. That's the Tyrion and the Ranger we've been hearing about. That's right. We're the other ones going to kick your ass. So let's kill them then. The mistress will reward us. Oh, these guys work for the mistress. Oh. If you want to throw your life away, go ahead. I'm not so dumb. I'm getting out of here. Mumble. Then it seems I must go, Tyrion. This is not the last time we shall meet. Oh, another threat. I'm scared. Now run along. Yes, the field, as they say, is yours. Pour it out of here, you losers. Grave news, milady. I should say, Grayson. Wait till you hear what just... Grayson? What is it? It's Thess, milady. I heard a struggle from her room. When I burst in, I saw two shadowy figures grab her and then just disappeared. Oh shit, they stole Thess. You mean Thess? Yes, milady. She's gone. Oh, we have an update. Thess's abduction. Fear not. I shall find her for you. Oh, please do what you can for her, Nico. She was the only friends I had. Grace only turns to you and shakes his head before walking off. And he didn't like that so much. Well, alright. Journal update says that's abduction. By luck, you stumble upon an attack by some shadowy figures, obviously in the employ of the mistress. You managed to foil their attempted abduction of Angelica Van Gogh, but her lady's maid, Thess LeHue, Janus, was not so lucky. Angelica would no doubt be grateful to you if you found Thess and return her safely to the mansion. Let's go talk to the old guy. He didn't seem particularly pleased that he just got snubbed there. And yes, he did get snubbed, for those of you who weren't paying attention. He was literally... He was literally told that he was not important. That's basically the take-home message there. Oh, that had to been harsh feelings. Poor guy. In this corner. He's not in this corner. Where the hell did he disappear to? Oh, Grayson. He's in his room pouting. Oh, jeez. Got a little child. Hello again, Nico. What can I do for you? I wanted to get some more details on Tess' abduction. A most horrific thing. I would never have thought anyone would be so brazen as to outright attack the mansion. Did you get a look at the kidnappers? I'm afraid not. They're both wearing long black cloaks and cowls pulled low over their faces. They abducted Thess and tried to abduct the Lady Van Gaunt, and yet they made no move for you? Oh, I hadn't even considered that in all the excitement. Wonder if I was in more danger than I thought. She cried out to me and I rushed them without even thinking, but the whole lot of them disappeared before I could reach them. Just a flash of magic and they were gone. It was then that I heard you talking to whoever it was down here, so I ran back down the staircase again and the rest of it, you know. And that's all I know, really. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about it anymore. The whole thing just breaks my heart. Please excuse me. So I wonder if he's either in love with Thess or Milady. Basically just got snubbed by one and had the other one basically stolen out from under him. So, I guess I can understand him being kind of upset. We'll leave him be. Okay, well. So we're looking for Milady. Here she is right now. Hello, Jellicoe.
Hi there.
Oh, Nico, I am worried sick about Thess. Please find her. I would give anything for her to be returned safely. You have my word, I will try. Thank you, I know that you will. I'd like to get the full story of what happened prior to my arrival. I was down in the study when I heard some yelling from upstairs, and then Grayson started yelling from the upstairs gallery, so I came in to see what was going on. That's when the two you encountered stepped out of the shadows of the staircase and told me I had a date with the mistress. I was just about to run when you entered. The rest you know. All I can say is that it was a most fortuitous entrance. Otherwise, who knows where I'd be right now. I need to talk about something else. Of course, I'm sorry. What did you need again? I go to the cathedral. It seems that Lord Legrin and his entourage were agents of some evil force, the mistress. Detail the events in the cathedral. Unbelievable. He under my nose all along, and he didn't seem so bad. His 3 followers were creeps, but he wasn't so bad. Well, it's good that you rooted the bunch out then, and you solved one of my other problems to boot. At least that's gone right today. Thanks for that, by the way. I don't want to get so absorbed in my own problems that I sound ungrateful for your efforts. Now, did you need anything else? Nope. Please excuse me. Alright. So, I talked with her. Let's go take a little nappy nap. Okay, after resting, we hear this. Your night is a peaceful one, but when you awaken in the morning, you find your companion a bit more contemplative than normal. After a small cup of herbs and heated water, she finally pipes up. I'm sure you didn't see them, as your window doesn't face the harbor, but there were some lights flashing from across the lake last night. Kind of lights. Just flashes. Those were red, but they were interspersed with the occasional blue or greenish hue it was. Anyway, I found it interesting. I'm not sure what's on the other side of the lake. Well, you could ask Angelica about it next time we talk to her. That's not a bad idea. Alright, let's light up this place. Boom. Alright, we have a journal update. Lights in the harbor. You have seen strange lights flashing during the night from across the Neverwinter harbor. Perhaps you should inquire around the village as to their origin. That's abduction. By luck, you stumbled upon an attack by some shadowy figures, obviously, and you employed the mistress. You managed to foil their attempted abduction of Angelica Van Gaunt, but her lady's maid, Thess Hugh, was not so lucky. Angelica would no doubt be grateful to you if you found Thess and return her safely to the mansion. Alright. Let's get out of here. It says that we can talk in town to the people, so let's go do that first. We have spells, so we're still doing pretty good there. I don't feel like resting or praying real quick. Might as well use the spell slot because if it gives us the option to pray and get them back, might as well get as much mileage out of them as we can, I say. So. Alright. So let's see here. I wonder if there's anything else we need to do to get the cathedral in town up and running. We still have those silver coins, and I'd like to see if I turn those into silver powder. Maybe we could take those to the weaponsmith there in town and see if he'll grind them for us. That's a possibility. Looks like we waited until nightfall to wake up out of bed. That didn't make any sense, but whatever. Beggar's still out there begging his little heart out. Get some 4 hours of rest there, buddy. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. No one's talking about the lights at all. Alright, well, I guess we can go to the town hall. We'll talk to the people there. See if they have anything we can say. Hey, you know anything about these lights? No. Well, okay.
Everyone follow me!
Yep.
You have need of me?
I'm sorry, but I have a question for you this time, if you don't mind. Go ahead. My family has recently undergone a crisis which we see no meaning for. As a member of the Tyrian clergy, I am hoping you can shed some light on it. Sounds fine. Last year, my 6-year-old nephew died of some malady that baffled the town doctors. Our family, of course, prayed to Tyr for deliverance, and the child seemed to be better for a while, but the recovery was ephemeral, and before long, it was clear he would not survive. Nevertheless, the death was prolonged, and his life dragged on for weeks, while he coughed up his own lungs bit by bit. Oh, jeez. The misery he was in was extreme until he was mercifully taken. Now I ask why Tyr would allow such a cruel fate to befall such an innocent child, and why give the family false hope initially only to cruelly yank the child away from us in the end. Each trial has tested your faith. The child now resides in the plains with Tyr himself, and so is not truly lost. He'll be reunited with all true believers one day. That is comforting in its own way, I suppose, though it doesn't help us in the here and now. Eternity is much longer than any one life. I would think that is more important to focus on. Well, that would be true, but then the obvious question is, what's the point of life? This world is the battlefield upon which all gods fight. It is here where the character and intent are destroyed. Such opportunity for self-discovery does not exist on the plains, which are generally more evenly divided and far less contested. I still might need to think on this for a bit. She only shakes her head, dumbfounded. So was there, why did you come here again? Was there something you need? Here we go. Of course, what are you looking for information on? I need some information on the lighthouse across the lake. No, there was a lighthouse across the lake. Did I? I must have. And so the information you seek is in one of the bookcases on the black platform. Okay. Well, thanks. Excuse me. Do. Alright, here's a black. We're getting information on the lighthouse across the lake. Updated archive. Yeah. Some hours later, you have managed to copy the relevant details into your journal under the heading Archives, the Ruined Lighthouse. Information now. The lighthouse was commissioned by Helena, mother and regent of Lord Alward II, in 1294, 1 year after the death of her husband, Lord Jason II, in a boating accident. Construction took 4 years, and the lighthouse entered operation in 1298. It remained in operation until 1323, when it was destroyed in a rock fall caused by a minor quake. The regent... Oh, they did have a quake. That's why the books were on the ground in her library there. The regent Helena, now long dead, neither the funds nor the political will existed to rebuild it. There was apparently no small political battle between the regent and the town elders over the appropriation of funds. An impassioned plea from Helena to the council, outlining her anguish over her husband's death and her determination that no one else should perish as he did, may have made all the difference. Records show that the initial construction cost a total of 1,783 gold pieces, and the yearly operational expenses were 22 gold pieces, neither adjusted for inflation. In there, that was a lot of money. Alright, we got a journal update there. Lights in the harbor. Ah, archives, ruined lighthouse. Yeah. Alright. Well, that's a little information about why there's a lighthouse over there. I don't even recall knowing that there was a lighthouse though. Did someone tell me that already? Anyway, we've explored everywhere I can in town that I can think of. There's no reason I can think of to go back to the cathedral. As far as I know, everybody's just dead in there. I guess we should go talk to Angelica. Okay, we are back visiting the townsfolk. Now, I've edited it out a little bit, but you saw the part where we actually talked with the librarian, or actually the records keeper, I should say, over in the town hall. She had some information for us, a question, of course, for us as well about her family. But no one else seemed to have anything useful to say. I mean, I went to everywhere else. I even tried to see if I could get the, what do you call that guy? The weaponsmith to take my silver coins and maybe turn them into silver powder for me, so I guess he won't do that either, or at least there wasn't an option to. So we've always decided that the only thing left to do then would be really to talk to Angelica, so let's see what she has to say.
Hi there.
Ah, Nico, well met again. Did you need something? There were some lights last night coming from somewhere across the lake. Do you know anything about that? Yes, that happens on occasion. You've seen our local ghosts, I'm afraid. You see, there's a ruined lighthouse on the far side of the lake that was destroyed by a rock slide several decades ago. There have been several shipwrecks in that area over the years. In fact, that was the reason the lighthouse was built to begin with. The drowned sailors are still said to inhabit the ruins and the surrounding lanes. Can you point the way to the lighthouse on my map? Of course, it is here. If you're thinking of going there, I'd talk to Ian Fisher. He can often be found near the docks, especially after dark, as he is normally out fishing during the day. If there's anyone who knows that lake and its history, it's he. Thanks, that's all I need for now. Alright. Your journal has been updated. Lights in the harbor. You've seen strange lights flashing during the night across the Neverwinter harbor. Upon inquiring into the origin, you have learned of a ruined lighthouse that was destroyed by an earthquake more than 50 years ago. The ruins are said to be haunted by restless ghosts, which manifest themselves as flashing lights. You have now identified the location of the lighthouse on your overland map. Boom. Alright, let's go talk to that guy. See if we can get a little more info before we head on over there. Sounds like ghosts, which means undead, which means our holy water and our turn undead spells are going to be used. Certainly, or on spells. Turn undead attempts will be useful. From there, I say we probably want, what? I probably want to go rest too, so I'll probably come back here after we talk to this gentleman. The fisherman's going to help us out, give us some info. And that was the one person in town, matter of fact, that I didn't talk to, because he's only there at a certain time of the day, and specifically at night. So this is actually makes sense that we're heading back there now to talk with him. I'm cool with that. Kind of a lot of running around, so I've cut a lot of that out. Hopefully you won't have to waste your time seeing me zip back and forth from place to place. But we definitely want to go talk with him, which means we need to probably go advance the clock a bit. To wait. there. Alright. Old Sea Dog. Hey, buddy. What do you think about those lights? This man is busy stowing fishing gear. My name's Nico Ogden. Nice to meet you. He nods again curtly, a slight note of suspicion in his eyes. Hey, Fisher, do you need something? I have questions if you don't mind. He straightens entirely sighs and looks at you through squinting eyes. I guess. The Lady Van Gaunt told me you might know something about a lighthouse across the lake. Aye, of that I know plenty. The lighthouse is abandoned by all who live, though the dead like it fair enough. Why would the lighthouse be haunted? Because of all the men who died there in the White Ship incident, not to mention the crash of the Fallen Angel 50 years ago. What are those? Well, according to the stories, it was 1293 or so when the Lord Jason II went out for a night of fishing with some friends on the royal boat called the White Ship. It seems the ale flowed freely that night and the ship floundered on the rocks. The Lord was lost, as were the rest. The Lord's wife Helena was made regent for their young son, and she immediately left the lighthouse so that no further accidents would occur. The lighthouse lasted until 1323 when the sun caused a rock slide that destroyed it. It was never rebuilt. Amazingly, the very next year, another ship, called the Fallen Angel, was destroyed on the same rocks. All the sailors save one were killed that night. That one made it back only to die a week later of pneumonia. Lasted just long enough to tell the story of that night. A few were able to get his story from his bedside. I was one, and I'm the only one left who heard it from his mouth. Tell me. There was a brutal storm that night. The old-timers said the very waves crashed up onto the shores with enough power to destroy some of the buildings. The rain fell sideways, and large chunks of rock fell from the cliffs into the sea. In this gale, the Fallen Angel was trapped out at sea and smashed against the rocks. Even the most powerful of swimmers had little chance to avoid drowning, but several sailors were able to cling to the very rocks that had destroyed the ship. There, they clung to life even as the waves battered and bruised them. Eventually the storm subsided, and the sailors looked at each other warily, too tired to contemplate trying to swim back to the mainland. They just lay on their backs, staring up at the moon as the water lapped onto the rocks around them. It was then that they heard it. The sea monster that inhabited Lake Namatra. Low roars reverberated from the water, and by the light of the full moon, they could see a dark shape swimming around under the water. Nessie! The first one was pulled off the rock and into the sea almost before he could yell, but that didn't nearly slake the monster's hunger. No, it wasn't long before a second and third were plucked from the rocks as well. Nasty. The sailors clung to the center of the rocks and prayed to Umberlee and any other god that would listen. To a man, they died in terror, simply waiting for their time, that moment when the monster would choose them as its next morsel. All but one, Clem, was his name. He was spared by whatever power that listened. At least he was spared long enough to get back here, where he told the story of the doomed crew. Those men died in terror, their bodies torn asunder by a monster they only saw glimpses of, and sea-bloated body parts washed ashore for weeks thereafter. It was just horrible. So that land around the lighthouse had seen two tragedies that claimed dozens of lives, and the sailors that lost their lives still wandered the cliffs, trying to right whatever wrongs they left undone. Maybe we can help some people out. Drowned, frozen, crushed against the rocks, eaten by a monster, terrified. All. Men who die like that don't never rest easy. Does the sea monster still exist? Ain't been seen since. Over 50 years now. Where's the lighthouse exactly? 'Tis here, he points to a spot on your map. Excuse me. Oops. Well, that's some info. Okay, so with all that, we shall go back. Since it sounds like we may be battling the undead horde, we probably want to get some spells back, so let's just make sure. We're all healed up, so we're basically just going to go take a knee in front of the altar and hope that we get all our spells back. I don't know if I want Detect Undead as a spell. It might come in handy here. Let's think about this. I mean, just because we're expecting undead doesn't mean that's what we're going to see. I would assume that's what's going to happen. And we are still looking for Thess, so she was abducted by people, not undead. So we might find people still, so I think I'll keep my hold person spell just in case. Other than that, though, I'm thinking These ones are probably going to see minimal use. Let's revamp those to something useful. Bull strength's always a classic, but silence is always a good one. Summon critter's always a good one, and that gives us 2 pets. One, we can't have both at the same time. 2 things that we can use. I actually may just go and get rid of summon creature 3 then and get another searing light since they're so good against the undead, right? That's an undead killer. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's do that. I'll still keep magic vestment. It's a nice hour-long buff per caster level, and I can buff my armor or my shield with that. Move curse might be needed. Greater magic weapon would definitely want. Divine power, that'll be fun to use. Bless. Bane. I don't think Bane works on undead because it's a will check. I want to say they're immune to will. Could be they're immune to fortitude. Anything that's a fortitude save, they resist. Or a will. I can't remember. It might be will though. I mean, it makes sense, right? They're undead. Why would they have a will? So, in divine favor, I want to keep that. These ones here, though, yeah, those are fine. I'll turn them into healing spells and heal the bastards for some damage that way. And we have our turn undead abilities, divine might still. Yeah, I say we give it a shot. You bow your head before the altar of your god and feel the warm, familiar warmth grow throughout your body. A palpable sense of inner power grows within you. And I got my stuff back. Alright, near the altar. Let's do this. Okay, so we're heading now over to... wait a minute, where am I going? We can teleport with our cool map of mappiness. Alright. I haven't had a chance to use this yet, have I? Let's see how we make this work. Map of Lake Navatra. View the location you marked on the map. Ruined lighthouse. Directly across Lake Navatra from the village is an old abandoned lighthouse that was destroyed around 50 years ago in a rock slide. Verona, what do you think of the lighthouse? Seems like the next logical step. It may be entirely unrelated to the goings-on here, but of course, but there's so much funny business in this vale that one mystery practically seems to layer on top of the next. Solving that one may well shed some light on this one. There's nothing wrong with that. Travel to one location you've marked on the map, and it's going to be the ruined lighthouse. Dun, dun. Ooh, that's a nice picture. I wonder if that is the lighthouse that we're headed to. Possibly. Very kick-ass. Alright, so here we are. We have spells. Yep. Yeah. Cool, we're down here. Looks like we got some trees and a door. Let's explore around outside first, but before we get nuts, I'm gonna get a couple long-term buffs going. Oh, I do not have magical armor. Just checking to make sure, because I want to do magic vestment on that. Still not great. I only got a +1 for that, but I don't care. It's 7 hours worth of buff, and likewise, let's do it to her weapon. Yeah, there we go. Reason for that is she is still our best fighter. Lighthouses are such lonely buildings, standing as solitary silent sentinels on distant shores. Word. Get your ass over here and follow me. What was that I see? Oh, I see Skeletors. Oh, balls. Wish I wouldn't have buffed her weapon now. Well, I got this one. She still does magic damage, so I guess it's okay. And...
listening.
This one... Cold Iron. That's still her magic weapon. So, yeah. So she'll still get a bump with that, and then the light hammer will still allow her to do damage. And of course we have holy water too, if we really want to get nuts here, and as well as some alchemist fire. And I got some turn undead abilities here, right?
I will lead now. Follow.
Oh, geez Louise, the whole place is swarming with Skeletors. Check it. Alright, well, let's run up on some of these peanut heads and see if we can turn a little undead, shall we? Oh, that was pretty. That was a good use. I ain't gonna waste it on one. Or two for that matter. Yeah, remains. Longsword light shield. Okay, that's fine. Oh, yeah, more remains. Longsword light shield. We'll come back for this stuff, I'm thinking. That'll be something that she could probably pack mule back to town for us. Yeah. We're gonna explore the whole outside here first, and before we go inside, we'll probably do a quick save and call it an episode. Even if it's an early one, I'm okay with that. We've done a lot today, and I'd like to get this video uploaded today as well. Is there any other undead around here? The back end. It's just the door lighting up there. Boom, boom, boom. It's that nice blue moon right there. They did a really good job on the artwork in this. One of the things I do like about Neverwinter Nights 2 over Neverwinter Nights 1, you know, Neverwinter Nights 1, from what I hear, is easier to mod. It's more user-friendly, so to speak. But Neverwinter Nights 2, the graphics obviously are just killer. In comparison, I mean, the blocky figures, the ugly faces of the characters in Neverwinter Nights, the original, is just lackluster to me. I don't know. Okay, that doesn't appear to be anything outside. So with that, we'll pull up to the door, do a quick save, and call it a night. My name's Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'm anticipating a fight since we basically just got mugged out here by the undead horde. Did well with the turn undead attempt though, man. I must have taken out like 4 or 5 of those bad boys. So that was nice. How are we doing on XP? Doing okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're still towing it. She's still subpar for her armor class. However, having said that, she is got the +2 armor class against evil. Little hula hoop doom. And that does not register. So she's technically fighting against an evil guy. She's at a 20 versus my 19. So she's still doing better than I am, as far as I'm concerned. I still have other stuff we can be using. We still have this, what do you call it? Shield Other ability, which will bump her armor class some more, which might be something we need. Bless, of course. I'm going to use these ones up, I think, first before we dip into our own personal stash, because, again, these don't appear to be usable in conversations, so we might as well burn up the scrolls. But with that, my name's Brothermutant. Again, I will see you guys soon. Bye now.